Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are this summer. The sun is out strong these days, especially here in Austin, Texas. And I've found myself wearing this messy bun a lot lately because it keeps my hair out of the way. It's so comfortable, it's so light, nothing is tight, and it gives that effortless look while still showcasing my curls along with this clean girl makeup, we technically call it. And so many of you have been requesting to see more details on the makeup and the hair, so I figured let's combine it in one. And I think a lot of you think it's more complicated than it looks, but this is actually really quick and simple to achieve. You can do this in 10 minutes, so let me show you how. So let's do this. To get the best lightweight results, I have to be intentional about my skincare first, so I'm using my favorite eye cream, which is by True Botanicals, and this instantly depuffs and hydrates my under eye area. And it's actually the best way to get smooth under eyes so that I don't need heavy coverage from concealer. I also love using this little tool that's also from True Botanicals that I keep in my skincare fridge to depuff my eye area even more, which feels really nice and cold. Alright, timer is set. Let's see how this goes. I also love using this cold brew eye recovery stick from Peach and Lily, which is slightly blue and contains caffeine to help me look less tired and get brighter under eyes before concealing. And I use it right under my eyes and my brow bone and simply tap it all in to blend. This is actually my favorite product from this brand, and they actually told me this is their least popular product, which is crazy to me. To prep my skin and get a natural looking glow, I'm using this Honest Beauty Everything Glow Primer, which is my favorite because it's not too glowy or oily, unlike other glow primers that I've tried in the past, which tend to leave a sticky, oily film on the skin. And I even love this primer without wearing makeup. Now for brows, I like using Brow Pop by Kosas because it's so simple and easy to apply. I just personally line my brows a little differently than other people because the left side of my face is higher than my right and it's more noticeable on my brows. So I line my left brow more on the bottom to bring my left side lower, and I line my right brow on the top so that it brings it higher. But I am no pro at this, I just do what works. To keep my skin breathable in this summer heat, I'm only using the Ilia CB On Triple Serum in Tone 2, which is a tinted serum, similar to the Super Serum Skin Tint, which both have SPF 40. But I love the CB On Tinted Serum best because it's even lighter, and it contains vitamin C and niacinamide to brighten the skin tone, so it's like skincare disguised as makeup, and as you can see, it blends perfectly without a white cast. I rarely ever wear liquid foundation, but I love to brighten and spot correct with my Ilia True Skin Concealer under my eyes and the sides of my nose and like the sides of my mouth, because wearing foundation all over my face is really unnecessary. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by Ilia. This video is just loaded with Ilia products because it's genuinely my go-to when it comes to clean makeup. To blend this in, I like to spray my Eco Tool sponge with the Honest Beauty Face Mist and tap it all in to blend. And you can see that while I'm blending, the concealer is perfect for my under eyes, but I don't expect my childhood scars that are so deep to get completely covered, and that's okay. That's the beauty of it. I'd rather sacrifice full coverage and opt for a thinner layer that smooths out my skin and brightens my skin while still looking natural, you know? Alright, that looks great to me. And now to set my concealer, I love using this translucent setting powder by LYS, and they also have this yellowy banana powder that I want to try soon, but the translucent one has been my go-to for a while now. I recently discovered on accident that the flat foundation brush, which I never use, is the perfect tool to blend contour. Does anyone else do this? And I still use the Jane Iredale Contour Kit, which I've been using for years, as you may know if you watch my other makeup videos. And maybe it's just me, but this brush made my contour process so quick and simple, just how I like it. And I also like to add a light layer on the edge of my lids. Something new I do is shade in a little on the top of my lip line, but be careful because you don't want it to look like you have a mustache shadow, you know? And I also apply some under the bottom lip to create a poutier illusion without any fillers necessary. Okay, now to add some warmth to my face, I'm using the Jane Iredale Mineral Foundation, which is one shade darker, and I apply it like a bronzer to create a more natural looking complexion because no one's face is naturally all one color, so I apply it everywhere my face would naturally get shade. And without picking up any more product, I use whatever is left on my brush to tap in around my mouth and blend in any harsh shading. Next up, this is my actual bronzer, which is by Kosas, and this will just warm up my face even more. And I love me a satin blush for summer. This is my go-to, which is why it's so beat up like this. And it's by Beauty Counter in the color Date. And this is just the best color ever for my complexion. I use it all year round, not just summer, and it always looks great. At this point, I lowered my lighting one tone down because I felt like it was too high to see the colors properly. And as always, I add a little blush to the top of my nose where we naturally get flushed pigment from the sun when we tan. Alright, I'm loving how my skin looks, so let's move on to mascara. And if you're not new here, you know my favorite is the Honest Beauty mascara. But for the clean girl makeup, I like the Ilia lengthening mascara because it gives a clean coat that never gets thick or clumpy, no matter how many coats I apply. And the wand has a comb attached, which is genius to separate lashes and lengthen them. And just look at that, it darkened and lengthened my lashes without looking dramatic. Alright, we're almost done here. You will almost never see me wearing a gloss, but I've been obsessed with this lip balm by Mob Beauty, which is in refillable packaging, and it's similar to a gloss. And it's a sheer plum color that looks a little glossy, but it's so good. And this is coming from a person who does not like gloss. And lastly, I'm using the Live Tinted Hue Glow in the color Dusk, which is my new favorite way to highlight. I simply take some on the tip of my fingers and tap it in on the high points of my cheeks to blend. And I also add a little to my brow bone. This blends so nicely. And finally, I highlight the tip and bridge of my nose. I'm obsessed. Okay, let's pause for a minute to thank Sunburnt for sponsoring this portion of the video. We commonly hear about the importance of protecting our skin from sun exposure, especially in summer when the sun is super strong. But we don't emphasize enough on after sun care as well, which is also very important. I recently took a trip with my family here in Austin, Texas to our local spring, which is beautiful and so refreshing. And this Sunburnt After Sun gel is one of the things that I brought in my bag. I love that this formula is alcohol-free, fragrance-free, and it's not sticky at all. But also, this After Sun gel is much more than aloe. It contains soothing ingredients like calendula, echinacea, along with aloe vera to rapidly bring relief to sunburnt skin that's red and sensitive. I also want to say that this After Sun gel is not just for when you're sunburnt. It's also very hydrating for any type of sun exposure. This is amazing to soothe, hydrate, and nourish your skin back to a healthy state. I even like using this after shaving my legs, and you know we shave a lot during the summer. So check out the link I will place right down below in the description box to get yourself this cooling and hydrating After Sun gel. For this messy bun, all you need is a tear-free, stretchy hair tie, which prevents breakage. And I apply my Ceremonia Guava Rescue Spray on the edges of my hair, but don't wet your hair too much because this style does not work on wet hair. And now I just take out a few pieces in the front. You can take out like 2 or 3 depending on your hair, but I like taking a few out for my hair and my length. And I also take a piece out by my ear. And then I take some of this Milk by Reverie, I think that's how you pronounce it, to tame some of the flyaways as I gather my hair up. And I only loop it around twice to secure the bun so it's not tight at all. Now I just adjust it to my liking, and I take about 2 pieces of curls from the bun out for that effortless look, you know? And I spray the curl to define it with my fingers as well. And then I take more of the Milk to also define the pieces in front of my face and on the side of my ear. But the one on my ear, I tuck it to the back because these pieces for me tend to be extremely defined. And I don't want it to stick out, so I put it behind my ear so that it can kind of dry more down and stretched instead of sticking up and being too curly and sticking out, you know? And the ones in the front, I just simply add some Milk and curl it with my fingers. Very simple, as I always do. Okay, so the clock says I went over like 3 minutes, but we're gonna say it was 10 minutes because I was over here showing you products, looking at the camera, trying to show you what I'm doing. So those 3 minutes do not count. So technically, this is a 10-minute look, okay? And every time I do this hairstyle, it looks slightly different each time. It's just one of those hairstyles that doesn't look exactly the same every time you do it, but it's similar enough. I feel like in my whipped shea butter video, my hair looked perfect in that one, but it's okay. It's supposed to be messy and effortless. I wouldn't consider this a no makeup look. So I like that the clean girl makeup has its own category because I think they're 2 different things. The no makeup look is supposed to be very minimal makeup without it being too noticeable that you're wearing makeup. And I think the clean girl makeup look is more about keeping it light and neutral. Nothing harsh, no drastic color changes, while just emphasizing on your natural beauty features. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, sunshines.